Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Anna. And for those of you that don't know me, I am a IO psychologist as well as a burnout coach. And I help women go from burned out to balanced so that they can make more of an impact and income both at home and at work. And I'm with the lovely Joanna. Joanna, say hi.
Hi, everyone.
I'm so excited for her to be here. This is our first Heart Hustler of the Month series. And what this is that I pick one person a month who I feel is admirable, somebody that makes a difference in the community. Maybe they're leading a life with love and they have their own business or are making a difference. And Joanna certainly does that. Before we dive into questions, I just want you guys to know a little backstory about me and Joanna. I actually met her, what was it, 10 years ago almost?
About almost, yeah.
It's crazy how time flies. Before we started recording, I was telling her, I can't believe I'm almost 30. Like, oh my God. 10 years ago. Wow. So we almost met 10 years ago at Palm Beach State, and we were both in this club called Phi Beta Lambda, which is a business organization. And I was president that year when you were secretary.
I was
You were
treasurer.
treasurer, that's right. And she was a phenomenal treasurer, and she was always by my side. She always, gave me information. And I think the year after, you became president, right?
I ran for, I was pushed to crack out of my shell.
Cracked out of her shell, y'all. The year when I graduated and I left, it was left in good hands. The year after that, she was president, running the club. And I always heard like, oh, we have this amount of stats, we have this amount of members. And when you're involved with something, it's almost like your baby, right? Anything you put your name onto, you want to hold it with high standards. And when I left that, I was like, oh my God, but it was, she killed it. She did even like better than me. Like it was amazing. And I got so many good reviews. And we kept in contact throughout the years, even after I graduated. And I consider Joanna a lifelong friend. And the reason I chose her, for those of you that don't know, Joanna leads a life so much filled with faith. Joanna, do you want to talk to us about that just for a little bit?
Yeah, so I really surround my life with having Christ in the center of my life. I feel like he's the one, that helps me, the path that is best for me. And just to give me orientation, I call him my doctor, my psychologist, my therapist, my professor. He really has all the roles. He wears all these hats, and anytime that I need a certain advice, I go to him, of course, in prayer. And sometimes I can hear him and he doesn't speak to me, but I grab my Bible and I say a prayer, and he truly speaks to my heart. And I feel that warmth and that security, that I know that I'm walking in the right. There are challenges in life, and I go through them too, times of despair and of worry as well. But once again, I really come to the where I have to just let go and surrender and just let him lead the way.
That's amazing. And what advice would you give others that, let's say, are in challenging seasons? Because I know you shared with me before, you were in a challenging season, you didn't know how you're going to get out, and you still remained the faith, was positive. When you show up, you wouldn't even know that you had all this stuff going on. You still glowed the room with a smile on your face. So what advice would you give others who are going through a challenging season right now?
My advice would be, in silence, you find answers. Because really that's where, you meditate upon the desires of your heart. And as the Bible says, that's where your treasure is. So I would recommend really just praying in silence and meditating. Really finding time for yourself, self-care, well-being for you, because you come first. Why? Because if you fulfill, with love, then you can go out into the community and give that love, and shine upon others and give that positive vibes to others as well. Even if you're going through hard times, someone else is going through something worse than you are. We don't know, faces we see, but stories we don't know. So you don't know how your life, just that 1 minute, that one smile, how that can make a difference and impact someone else's life and give them motivation. Oh, if she's going through it or he's going through it, then I can do it too. And we push each other and we help each other without really even knowing until the story comes out and you're like, oh, you were my inspiration, you were my motivation. So
Yes, absolutely. I love that you say, you just push one another because you never know what someone else is going through, right? And I remember what I'm going back to PBL days, you would always come back in the room. If I was having a bad day, you would push me, like literally be like, come on, Anita. So she always has this like glow about her, this energy that's like no other. Like she fills a room with joy. And I know she talks about her siblings a lot. She's very family oriented. And even with your siblings, you want to leave a legacy to have them, go above and beyond, maybe even more than you. So do you want to talk about, how your family, you're very impactful with your family and a family individual as well?
yeah, well, I am the oldest, so we all know that if you're the oldest, to be set the standard and like be the role model, and you have all of these rules that and your parents really expect a lot from you, but I really do it. I care for them, and to me they are my siblings, but I call them my kids, and they even call me Nana, and even like their friends call me Nana. So I have all these adopted children. They'll come to me for advice, and that really to me just shows that they respect what I think and what I have to say, and that they consider it in their lives. I push myself really hard, but it's just because I want them to go further, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
If I made it to a certain point, well, you can do better, you can do more, and they all have like different talents that I don't even have. So I'm very admirable of them, but to me they are my inspiration, they are my strength.
Oh,
The reason why I push myself, to do more and to give more.
they're so lucky to have you. And Joanna, I know you were a client of mine a year ago, a year and a half ago. How does the time fly? Oh my gosh, the time flies so fast. But with being a client of the Hustle from the Heart Academy and coaching, can you just share a little bit of what was your experience? How did you come in? What kind of advice? How was the atmosphere? And what kind of mindset did you leave with?
Well, first of all, I would really recommend, your course. To me, it was great. It was a great experience just because we started, I was a little bit cold in the waters, a little bit laid back, and I needed.
A little bit. Throw her in the deep end,
Yeah.
let her swim.
So, when I came to you, you were like, okay, we're going to do this and that. And you were
I'm
very,
your friend, but I'm also your coach.
yeah. So at that moment, you really became like coach. Like, you put everything else to the side, the relationship we had, and you really were there to help me succeed. And that's what I liked about you, that you knew how to like separate that. And you were really organized. You hit every bullet point, everything that I shared with you, like I want to focus on this, I want to focus on that. You really took the time and did your own homework to help me, hit each point, and that really helped me, because I really needed it at that time. I was a little bit like lost in the sense of like I didn't know really like what to do in sense of, like my career, like where to go, like where to put my time and my energy, what were my talents. I knew I had talents, but I didn't know what they really were, and you really dive to find out what they were to focus on them. So I really loved the experience. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot from it. So I would really, really recommend anyone.
Thank you. And I think the biggest thing is when you go into coaching, you might have one mindset of like, this is my goal. Let's say grad school, just for an example, in psychology, this is my goal. But then you realize there's so many different avenues to get there that it might not be the avenue you first thought. You might take a detour, right? One day you're going to be an excellent psychiatrist, psychologist, therapist, Christian healer. You have it in you. And Joanna is already aligned with a career that's allowing her to give back to the community. So I am so excited for her. And Joanna, if you were to give one last piece of advice to anybody listening, any of our followers, for the Heart Hustler edition, what would you leave them with?
I would say, no matter what you want in life, pursue it. Don't give up. Work for it. Don't let no one stop you. Don't let yourself stop you, because at the end of the day, we make the call. We make the shots.
We
So
make the
don't
call.
give up.
I love it. Well, there you have it. Thank you so much, Joanna, for joining us, and join us next month for another Heart Hustler edition. Bye, guys. Love you.